Hi, my name is Dr. Denise, and this is this week's A Dose from Dr. Denise, where I hope to teach, show, and inspire you how to release your God-given health and life potential. We are into the Merry Christmas season, and it is indeed merry. I thought I would video this week's recording in my meditation room, my mindfulness room. So after I adjust patients, I strongly encourage them to sit in meditation for 10 minutes, and it's been a huge success. And it's a little bit of what I'm talking about today, so that's why I'm recording this video here. This week I want to talk about this kind of catchy phrase that we say all the time, which is giving the present of being present. And it is a catchy phrase, but the problem is we don't do it. And so I want to discuss specific, concrete things that you can do to allow yourself to be more present or be more mindful. You know, I've called my practice, A Dose from Dr. Denise, a chiropractic and mindfulness practice. And being mindful literally means to just be here in the now, in the present moment, without bringing in the past, without projecting into the future. And yet, when those things may come in, which invariably they will, that we don't judge them, you know, that we can detect our bodily sensations, our feelings, our emotions, and just be present with them and be okay with them without the judgment of them. And let me tell you, that's a hard thing to do. But if we could really practice getting there, I call it practicing your, strengthening your peace of mind muscles, the world would be a much better place, and your world, your immediate surroundings, the people that you interact with, your family, your spouse, your children, and yourself, you would just have a better life, a much, much more joyful life. And that's why I talk about it all the time. So let me just get right into it. This past Friday, I went to the Houston Symphony with my husband and a lovely couple that took us. And I was so disturbed because the man next to me was with his wife and his teenage son. The Houston Symphony was an unbelievable production. I'm so blessed to be there. And this man was on his phone the whole time. And it was disruptive to me because of the light. It was disruptive to me because I just couldn't believe that he wasn't enjoying the symphony. And it is not like me to say anything, so I didn't. But, not only did he waste his time being there, he set a bad example for his son. He basically said to his wife, this isn't something I really care about, so let me just scroll through nonsense on my phone. And he bugged me because it bothered me that he was doing it. So that was an example of someone not being present. Another thing that happened to me this week is that last Saturday night we had a Christmas party to go to, and the weather wasn't the greatest, and it was on a backcountry road. We had never been to this particular place before. And as we were driving, a big animal ran in front of our car. Now, I'm in Texas, so I don't know if it was a dog, a deer, a pig. It was some large animal. And Steve was able to avoid it. But I immediately thought, how awesome is it that my husband was present and focused on driving our vehicle? Because what a horrible situation it would have been if we had gotten into a car accident, seriously hurt, and then again, that has a ripple effect. It would have affected our children and my family and my friends. So, being present affects not just you, but all of those around you. So I can't think of something more important to talk about. And so when you say give a present of being present, your presence is a present. You hear it, but you're like, well, how do I do it? So I want to just give you, 3 or 4 things to think about here, and see if you can make 2019 the year that you're really, truly present. All right. So I'm going to give you 4 things. Number 1 is there's something I learned. My business coach told me to buy a book by David Allen. Right now the title is escaping. Oh, it's here now. The title is Getting Things Done. And so I read through this book, and it, of course, is talking about being productive, this book. And my mother always says, what's the one thing that you got out of that seminar book? Well, the one thing I got out of this book, which is really cool, is something called the 2-minute rule. And if something comes into your mind and it takes less than 2 minutes to do, do it right then and there. Because if you don't, it's going to recycle over and over and over and over again in your mind. And when it's recycling in your mind, whatever you're supposed to be doing at that point, you won't be doing. It'll take you out of the presence. So again, an example. I got a bill this week from Easy Pass from New Jersey for $100. I have Easy Pass, I have an active account, so I knew it was an error. And I knew that if I did not take care of that right then and there, my entire afternoon, I would have been playing it over and over and over again of whether I owe $100 and what was the problem. It took not 2 minutes, probably took about 6 or 7 minutes for me to get online with Easy Pass, to call and to update my address and my credit card and my email, which is what all three of those things had to be updated with them. So if it takes less than 2 minutes, and again, this isn't my idea, this was from David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, but do it right then and there, because then it gets off your mind, off your head, and it's not going to take you out of the present for something else that you should be present for. The second thing is worrying about problems takes you out of the present moment. And as you know, worrying doesn't help. If anything, it attracts what you're worrying about. It attracts the opposite of how you would want to solve the problem. So keep this in mind. And again, I learned this from my business coach, which is don't try to solve a problem you don't have. Don't try to solve a problem you don't even have yet. It's like paying interest on a loan that you never even took out. So catch yourself when your mind is figuring out the life's problems and the world's problems, and these aren't problems you even have yet. And I love that saying, stop trying to solve a problem that you don't have, because again, when you're doing that, whatever is directly in front of you, you are not paying attention to. The third thing that I would say is to learn how to pay attention. Learn how to pay attention. And what I mean by that is that be present with whatever is in front of you. If it is a checkout clerk at a grocery line, they deserve your presence. They're working. They're a fellow human being. Their energy is interchanging with energy. How dare we be on the phone? We are so much more important than the clerk in front of you. If you're at a restaurant and the waiter's taking your order or serving you, they're serving you. Be present. Don't be on your phone. I mean, how often do you go out to a restaurant and you see the entire family on their phone? You know, put the phone away. The phone completely takes you out of being in the present moment. So a lot of times if I'm with a friend, so yesterday I went out to lunch with a girlfriend and it was lovely. And in order to pay attention, I say to myself, Denise, what if you had to repeat back after the lunch everything she said to you? Or what if I said to you, what are 5 characteristics of this person sitting in front of you? And after the lunch, you had to tell me them. And so I play these games with myself to keep myself present. Yesterday, my friend Lee had a white shirt on. She had beautiful blue eyes. They were really standing out. She was going to a Christmas party that night at her husband's work. Her 2 of her 4 children were going to be in town. So I purposely pay attention, because as Mary Kay always would say to her clients, who would then say to their customers, is that customers want to feel like they have a necklace around their neck that says, make me feel important. And don't we all want that? Whoever's sitting across from us, whatever we're talking about, we want to be heard. And the only way to hear someone is to be present with them. Give your presence as a present and play a little game like you're going to be quizzed at the end of that time. Once you start doing that just a few times, I promise you that you'll be more present. And I purposely, when I am with a girlfriend or out to dinner, that phone, man, it goes in my purse or it goes off on silent, because this thing is not more important than the person directly in front of me. And the last thing, and I'll say the fourth thing, and probably the most important thing, I'm at 9 minutes and I try to keep these to 10, is please, 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 please start meditating. It is not difficult. It is not anti-Christ. I mean, it is just sitting quietly and trying to think less. And it is very difficult to do. So in my office, right behind me, I have a 3 meditation bays, and I put someone in a meditation cushion, or I put them in this chair. I put a headset on them, and I use the app called Insight Timer, and I love it. Insight Timer. I'll put it in the in the comments, or excuse me, just within this caption, in this Facebook post, in this video. It is a great app, and you can select what kind of music you want. You can, and I don't listen to anybody talking to me through the meditation. I like just listening to the music, because if someone's talking to me, then I'm still thinking. And so I just want to learn how to zen out. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And if you say to me that I don't have time for meditation, I can't sit still in meditation, I can't do it, then you need to do it twice as long as the average person. So in summary, give presence as a present. Remember the 2-minute rule. If something comes into your head and it's something that you can do right then and there, do it right then and there. It takes less than 2 minutes, because it gets it off the mind. Number 2, stop worrying about problems that you don't have, or stop trying to solve problems that you don't have. Number 3, give people your presence by paying attention to them when they're in front of you. Make them feel important, just like Jesus says, do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. You want to feel important, make other people feel important. And lastly, please make 2019 the year that you add 5 or 10 minutes of meditation to your daily routine. And of course, if you're local, come on into my office, because you could do it right here. And that is this week's A Dose from Dr. Denise. Let me finish with a prayer. God, thank you for this amazing week. Thank you for Advent season. It is such a wonderful, wonderful time of year. Please minimize the stress and the craziness of the holidays, and allow me to stay present and be with my family and spread love. Thank you for the message that you give me through your Son, Jesus Christ. May I learn to have him live in and through and with me each and every day, so that I can share that love with others. Amen. Peace out. Have a great week. Don't stress out. Enjoy this holiday, and I'll see you next Sunday.